Zarok! We cannot do this! Kira shouted over the comms, trying to reach him. But the roar of battle cries drowned her out. Desperation filled her heart as she realized that time was running out. We need to find a way to stop this before it's too late. Meanwhile, on the ground, Sarah watched the alien ships hovering ominously above. The warning shot had been fired, and now both sides were poised for an attack. "Hold your fire!" she shouted to her soldiers. "We need to find out what they want first." But fear clouded the judgment of the soldiers around her. The humans were on high alert, their eyes filled with uncertainty and suspicion. "Ma'am, we can't just sit here. They're armed and ready to attack," one of the officers protested. "I understand," Sarah replied, her heart racing. "But if we fire first, we may start a war that we cannot stop. We need to show them we want peace." Back in the alien ships, Kira was determined to prevent a catastrophe. She knew that she had to act fast. "I have to communicate with them," she thought, pulling up a protocol that allowed her to broadcast a message directly to the humans. Kira activated the communication channel, her voice steady but urgent. "This is Kira of the Galactic Council. We come in peace. We do not wish to fight you." Her message echoed across the battlefield, reaching both the humans and the aliens. For a moment, silence fell. Both sides looked around, stunned by the unexpected plea. "Did you hear that?" Sarah asked, her heart racing as she listened to Kira's voice. "They're not here to attack. They want peace." Zarok, however, was not easily swayed. "They are lying! They are trying to trick us!" he shouted, gripping his weapon tighter. Kira's heart sank at Zarok's words. "We cannot let fear guide our actions," she yelled back. "If we attack, we risk losing everything. We must choose peace." Her voice rang through the air, resonating with the warriors and soldiers alike. The tension in the air shifted slightly as some warriors began to hesitate, questioning their readiness for war. "Zarok, listen to her," one of the younger warriors called out, stepping forward. "We saw how the humans acted when we were on Earth. They showed kindness and understanding. Maybe we should trust them." Zarok's face twisted with anger. "You want to trust them? After everything we've prepared for? We will be seen as weak!" But Kira pressed on, her determination unwavering. Strength does not come from weapons alone. It comes from understanding and cooperation. "Look around you! Do you want to fight and risk the lives of everyone here? Or do you want to stand for something greater?" As Kira's words sunk in, the warriors exchanged glances. Slowly, Zarok lowered his weapon, but uncertainty still lingered in his eyes. At the same time, Sarah made a bold decision. "I want to send a message to the aliens too," she said, her voice firm. "If they are willing to talk, we should show them that we are open to dialogue." With that, she sent a response back to Kira's ship. "This is Lieutenant Sarah. We hear you, and we want to understand each other. Let's talk before any more violence occurs." The tension in the air shifted yet again, this time toward a fragile hope. Kira's heart swelled as she received Sarah's message. "Thank you, Lieutenant Sarah. We are willing to meet and discuss our intentions." "Let's find a neutral ground to talk," Kira replied. As both sides prepared to find a way to communicate, the warriors and soldiers slowly lowered their weapons. The fear that had gripped them began to loosen, replaced by cautious curiosity. Kira and Sarah arranged a meeting point on a nearby planet, away from the chaos. As they approached the location, both sides felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. Kira knew this was a crucial moment. The future of both species depended on their ability to understand one another. When the ships landed, Kira stepped out first, her heart pounding in her chest. She saw Sarah approaching from the other side, flanked by her soldiers. Both women stood still, staring at each other, a moment that felt monumental. "Thank you for meeting with us," Kira said, her voice steady. Sarah nodded. "We want to understand each other and find a way to coexist." As they began to speak, Kira felt a sense of relief wash over her. Both sides had chosen peace over conflict, and in that choice they found a glimmer of hope. A path toward a future where understanding and cooperation could prevail. The potential for friendship blossomed between the two worlds, a promise of unity that could change everything. In the heart of the Galactic Council, a massive room filled with strange alien creatures buzzed with tension. Leaders from many worlds gathered to discuss a serious issue: humans. The Council had representatives from across the galaxy, each with their own unique features. Some had shimmering scales, others had fur, and a few floated gracefully in the air. But today, all their eyes were focused on the screens displaying images of Earth. The Supreme Leader, a tall creature with many eyes, stood up. "We have heard troubling reports about humans," they said, their voice echoing through the chamber. "They are known for their wars and destruction. We must consider whether they are a threat to us." Murmurs spread among the council members. A short alien with green skin and sharp teeth stood up. "Humans have a violent history. They fight amongst themselves and have even launched weapons into space. If we ignore them, we risk our own safety." Another member, a floating alien with a bright blue glow, spoke softly. "But what if humans are not as dangerous as we think? Perhaps they have changed. We need to learn more before we decide to attack." The debate continued, with voices rising and falling like a chaotic song. Some council members wanted to send a ship to attack Earth, while others wanted to investigate further. The tension was thick as everyone considered the possibilities. As discussions went on, a wise old alien named Zaro spoke up. "Let us not forget the stories of the human spirit. They are resilient and creative. What if we send a team to observe them first? We can learn about their strengths and weaknesses." The Supreme Leader nodded thoughtfully. "Zaro is right. We should gather information before taking any action. I propose we send an exploration team to Earth." Excitement mixed with fear in the chamber. The council agreed to send a team but debated how many and what kind of aliens should go. Some wanted the strongest warriors to show power, while others believed scientists and diplomats would be better suited for the task. After much discussion, they settled on a small group of scientists and a few warriors for protection. The team would observe human behavior, study their technology, and report back. The council hoped this would help them understand whether humans posed a real danger. As the team prepared to leave, the atmosphere was tense. The scientists, a mix of species with different skills, felt both excitement and fear. They knew the importance of their mission. If they failed, it could lead to war. The leader of the team, a brave warrior named Kira, gathered everyone before they departed. "Remember, our goal is to learn. We must not act out of fear. Humans are different from us, but that does not mean they are our enemies." With that, they boarded their ship and set off towards Earth. The journey was filled with mixed feelings. Some team members were excited to see a new world, while others worried about the unknown dangers they might face. As they traveled through the stars, the team shared stories of what they had heard about humans. Some spoke of their intelligence and creativity, while others warned of their violent nature. The debate continued, but Kira reminded them to keep an open mind. Finally, the ship approached Earth, and the blue planet glowed beautifully against the darkness of space. As they entered the atmosphere, the team felt a sense of wonder. This was a place full of life and mystery. Kira looked out the window, feeling a mix of hope and apprehension. Once they landed in a quiet area far from human eyes, the team prepared to explore. They activated their cloaking devices to remain hidden, wanting to observe humans without being seen. Kira led the team cautiously into the forest, eager to see what this world had to offer. As they moved through the trees, they could hear sounds of life, birds chirping, leaves rustling, and a distant voice laughing. The team felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. What would they find? Would humans be as dangerous as they feared, or were they more than just warriors? Little did they know, their journey was only beginning, and the secrets of humanity would soon unfold before them. The council's concern loomed large in their minds, but Kira hoped that understanding would lead to a different path, one of peace rather than conflict. The alien team quietly emerged from their ship, hidden deep within a lush green forest on Earth. Kira, the team leader, led the way, her eyes wide with curiosity. The air smelled fresh, filled with the scent of trees and flowers. She could hear the distant sounds of humans laughing and talking, which both excited and worried her team. "Stay alert," Kira whispered, her heart racing. "We don't know how humans will react to us." Kira sighed, knowing this would not be easy. "Rax, strength is important, but understanding is even more crucial. We need to learn how humans think and fight. We can't underestimate them just because they look different." The training session began. The warriors practiced their fighting techniques while Kira guided them. She wanted them to be prepared, but also to be smart. They practiced using their weapons against holographic images of humans, mimicking human fighting styles. As the warriors fought against the projections, Kira watched closely. Some warriors were fierce and aggressive, attacking with brute force. Others were more cautious, trying to find openings and weaknesses. Kira saw that each warrior had a unique style, and it was essential to combine these styles to be successful. During a break, Taro, the young scientist, approached Kira. "Do you really think we should be training for battle? I feel we should be learning from humans instead," he said, his voice filled with concern. Kira nodded, understanding his worry. "I agree, Taro, but the Council has ordered us to prepare for an attack. We must show them we are ready, even if our true goal is to learn." As the training continued, the atmosphere was tense. Rax and other warriors pushed themselves to their limits, their muscles straining under the pressure. They practiced different formations, learning how to move as a unit. They shouted battle cries, filling the room with energy. But Kira noticed a growing sense of doubt among some team members. That evening, after a long day of training, the warriors gathered to rest. Kira sat with them, trying to lift their spirits. "We may have to fight, but we should also be open to other possibilities. Let's not forget what we saw on Earth. The humans showed kindness and cooperation. We can learn from them." Rax leaned back, crossing his arms. "You keep saying that, Kira, but what if they attack us first? We can't let them catch us off guard." "True," Kira replied, "but we must also consider that an attack could lead to a war that neither side wants. What if we show them our strength, but also our willingness to understand? That could lead to peace." The warriors exchanged glances, some nodding in agreement. They had come to respect Kira's leadership and vision. They wanted to be strong, but they also wanted to be wise. As the days passed, the training continued. Kira encouraged the warriors to practice not only their physical skills, but also their minds. She organized sessions where they discussed human culture, their values, and what made them unique. They learned about human teamwork and creativity, which fascinated the warriors. One day during training, Kira introduced a new exercise. "Let's try working in pairs. One warrior will be the attacker, and the other will be the defender. The defender must find ways to outsmart the attacker, just like humans do in their sports." The warriors were eager to try this new approach. As they trained, laughter and friendly competition filled the room. They realized that thinking creatively was just as important as physical strength. They started to see the value in learning from humans, rather than only preparing for battle. By the end of their training, Kira felt a sense of hope. The warriors were stronger, not just in combat, but also in understanding. They were beginning to see that there was more to strength than just brute force. If they were ever to confront humans, they would do so with knowledge and respect. As the council watched them train, Kira knew that their journey would lead them to an unexpected encounter. The warriors were ready for battle, but they were also open to the idea of peace, a balance that could change everything. On a quiet day in the Galactic Council's training center, tension simmered beneath the surface. Kira and her team had been preparing for any possible encounters with humans, but a sense of unease hung in the air. The council had grown restless, and rumors of an impending attack began to circulate among the warriors. Kira sat in a meeting room with council members, trying to calm their fears. "We must remember what we learned from our time on Earth. Humans are not our enemies. They want to understand us just like we want to understand them," she said firmly. But the council members exchanged worried glances. "You say that, but we cannot ignore the reports of human military exercises. They are preparing for war," one council member replied. "What if they decide to strike first?" Kira shook her head. "We can't jump to conclusions. We need to communicate with them, not prepare for a fight. It's the only way to avoid a misunderstanding." Despite her words, a council member named Zarok was not convinced. He was a fierce warrior, proud of his strength and combat skills. "I say we show them our might. Let them know we are not to be messed with," he shouted, slamming his fist on the table. Frustrated, Kira tried to reason with him. "Zarok, if we come across as aggressive, we may provoke them into an attack. We need to find a way to reach out to the humans." Meanwhile, far away on Earth, a military training exercise was underway. Humans were practicing their strategies for defense, unaware of the misunderstandings brewing in space. In the command center, Lieutenant Sarah watched the monitors, her brow furrowed with concern. "Our radar picked up some unusual signals. It looks like an alien ship is hovering near our atmosphere," she said. The room filled with tension. "Could it be a threat?" a fellow officer asked, eyes wide. "We don't know yet," Sarah replied, biting her lip. "But we should be cautious. We can't afford to take any chances." The news of the alien ship spread quickly through the military channels, and the decision was made to increase security around strategic locations. Sarah felt torn. She wanted to learn more about these aliens, but orders came first. Back in the Galactic Council, Kira was preparing to send a communication to Earth. She typed a message expressing their desire for peace and understanding. But as she sent the message, she noticed Zarok and other warriors gearing up for what looked like a confrontation. "Zarok! What are you doing?" Kira yelled, running after him. "We are showing them our strength," he replied, strapping on his armor. "If they want to prepare for battle, we will be ready." Kira felt a wave of panic. "You're making a mistake! If you attack, we will start a war. We need to wait for their response to our message." Ignoring her, Zarok and his warriors marched toward their ships. They planned to approach Earth and show their strength, believing this was the only way to earn respect. Meanwhile, Sarah received Kira's message but had no time to process it. The news of the alien ships approaching Earth reached her just as she was preparing her team for a possible confrontation. "We need to get ready. The aliens are on their way!" she ordered, her heart racing. Confusion spread among the humans. Many thought the aliens were attacking. Sarah tried to calm her team. "We don't know their intentions yet. We must be cautious and ready for anything," she said. As the alien ships descended toward Earth, the warriors prepared for a show of strength. Zarok and his team were eager to display their power, while Kira desperately tried to contact them through her communicator. "Zarok, please listen. This is not the way," Kira shouted through the communicator, but her voice was drowned out by the noise of engines and battle cries. The humans on the ground watched the incoming ships with fear and uncertainty. Sarah looked through her binoculars, her heart pounding. "They are coming in fast! Prepare for defense!" she commanded. As the alien ships hovered above the ground, Zarok stood proudly at the helm. "Let them see our might!" he yelled, raising his weapon. Kira's heart sank as she realized the impending disaster. In that moment, a signal from the humans rang out. It was a warning shot, a bright flash in the sky. The aliens were taken by surprise and chaos erupted. Kira could only watch in horror as the situation spiraled out of control. The misunderstandings had escalated into a dangerous standoff. Both sides were on edge, ready for battle, but neither truly wanted to fight. Kira knew that if they did not find a way to communicate, this could lead to destruction for both worlds. "Stop! We must find a way to resolve this!" Kira shouted, desperate to bridge the gap between the two sides. But the war drums were beating louder, and time was running out. In that moment, the potential for peace hung by a thread. The tension in the air was thick as Kira stood at the helm of her ship, watching the chaos unfold below. Zarok's warriors were prepared for a battle, their weapons aimed at the human forces, who were ready to defend their territory. Kira felt a knot tighten in her stomach. She knew that if they fought, both sides could face destruction.